The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello there, and welcome to a night with Blogging Speaks 3. At the moment, it's really Blogging Speak 2 because we're still waiting for Zach Johnson. Hopefully, we'll be in the next little while. My name is John Chow, and right now with me is Jonathan Bolt. And how this is going to work tonight is each one of us, myself, Zach, and Jonathan, will be sharing something that we never blogged about. And we're going to share that with you. And then afterward, we're going to open up the lines to your questions, and we're going to answer any question you want. You feel free to ask us. Now, there are several ways for you to ask us a question. You can just simply type the question into the question box. If you look at your GoToWebinar control panel, you can type the question there. However, a better way to do it is just simply to raise your hand. You'll see there's a hand icon on the left side of your GoToWebinar control panel. You click that, you can raise your hand, and then when we go to the question period, I'll say, you're up. And if you have a mic, everyone will hear you, and we can just talk and answer your question. So it's also an opportunity for you to ask us any question. Maybe even give your own site a plug. You know, like we're more than happy to look at your site. We want to look at your site, give you tips or anything like that. And yeah, that's basically how it's gonna work. So, oh, I already see the questions there. Everyone's asking, you know, I say right now the question is, hey guys, yeah, okay, good. What kind of car is that? Okay, that's your first question. For those who are wondering, the car on my screen is a Pagani Harura. At least I think that's how it's pronounced. This is a replacement for the Pagani Zonda. It's made in Italy by Horacio Pagani. There's only 20 made every year. And it costs €1,000,000, which I think at current exchange rate is about $1.5 million US. So it's only 20 made. So hey, you know, it's pretty sure Mr. Pagani has one or two still available.
How many days of blogging would that cost you, John?
Quite a few. I mean, I'm sure it's only like a week's work for you, but quite a few months of blogging. All right. So I guess I'll begin. What I want to show you, and I want to show you a couple of things today. And the first thing had to do with GoToWebinar. A couple of weeks ago, some of you may remember that I posted about the cost of operating my blog, and I show you how much it costs for web hosting and how much it costs for mailing list, that kind of stuff. And one of the costs was GoToWebinar, this system that we're on right now that allows us to conduct this webinar. And I want to show you a little trick, that I was able to use to reduce the cost of the service. And oh, wait a minute, I just see Zach Johnson just logged on. Let me make him a presenter and make Zach Johnson a presenter here. And oh, hey Zach. Hey Zach, nice screen. Okay, Zach's the presenter now. Hold on, let me switch it back to me, and then we'll continue with my presentation. So at least know that's working. All right. Okay, now we're back to me. Let me just unmute Zach. Zach, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear Zach. Perhaps me turn up your mic a little bit, so it's balanced a little bit. Okay, great. All right. Jonathan, can you hear Zach okay?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, good stuff. All right, so right now, where was I? Okay, yeah, I want to talk to you about GoToWebinar. And GoToWebinar, as you know, let me zoom in here. The account I have at GoToWebinar, which holds 1,000 people, the normal price is $499 a month, and that's what I listed in my post about how much it costs to run my blog. You know, I posted the retail cost of how much it costs. However, I don't actually pay $499 for it like anything else. I always, you know, try to get it for free or try to find a bargain. So, and I have to give credit to Chris Griffey, so for telling me this, to sending me this link. It's possible for you to get a GoToWebinar account for significantly less than $500 a month, and I realize that even $500 a month is probably worth it, but if you can avoid it, it's a lot better. So I'm going to show you how to get this thing for $79 a month for 1,000 seat accounts. First thing you got to do is, of course, just to register for a GoToWebinar account. Just sign up, try it for free, and you go to the address is GoToWebinar.com. So you just basically get a 30-day free trial, and just fill out the information and start your free trial. And the free trial allows you to host unlimited webinars up to 100 attendees only. And of course, during the next 3 days, GoToWebinar will try to get you to, get a paid account and try to get you to, do you like the service? Try it, try to get you for $500 a month for the maximum account. But okay, here's what you do. After you sign up for your 30-day, after you sign up for your 30-day trial, punch in this URL. I'm going to copy this link so everyone can get a copy of it. Okay, you should see it now in your control panel. This is the link. You click this link here, and it will ask you to log back in, which I'll do right now. I'm going to log back in my GoToWebinar account, and then it will take you to a new pricing screen. Let me zoom in on this. And you notice now the price is now $79 a month if you prepay it for a monthly plan. And if you want to pay for the entire year, it's $948. That reduces the price to, well, $948 divided by 12. So 60 some odd dollars every month for 1,000 seat GoToWebinar account. And that's all you have to do. So much better than paying $500. So if you don't have the link, let me know. For those of you who know, it's https://www.gotomeeting.com/renew GoToWebinar 79 portal equals www.gotowebinar.com. But that link will send you to a special page that allows you to get it for $79. That's the first thing I want to show you. All right. So I just saved you guys several $1,000s a year if you want to start your own webinar service. And webinar, as I say, to me, it's a fantastic service. Great to connect with readers, build trust, present stuff like this. All right, so that's the first thing I want to show you guys. The second thing I want to show you is a little Facebook thing. I set up a Facebook event for this little webinar we're holding, and one of the things you noticed is that I invited over 3,000 people. Now, normally when you invite people to a Facebook event or you recommend a Facebook page, you have to click invite guests, and then you have to manually select every single person on your list. And of course, when you have 3,000 people to invite, that's a lot of time selecting people. Facebook, if you're using Google Chrome, there used to be a Chrome plugin that allows you to select everyone that's on your contact. But with the recent update of Facebook, they killed that. So all that Chrome plugin that I used to use that allows me to select everyone that's on my Facebook list doesn't work anymore. So I did a little digging around, and I managed to find the new code that will allow you to select everyone on all your Facebook friends. And this is it right here. I'm gonna copy this onto the question box so you can all get it. All right, I'm gonna show you how to do this. I'm gonna show you how to use this right now. So let's just find an event as a demo. This one here. Laugh at the world ending. Sounds like a good event. All right. So I'm gonna select some people to join. So this is my friends. And like I said, normally you have to I'll select this person, that person, this person, which will take a while. So what you do is we take that link here that I just gave you guys. You just copy it. And then you just paste it into the address bar, hit enter. And now everyone has selected. Now just hit submit, and the invite will be sent to all your friends. So this is a great way to save yourself a lot of work. You want to create an event, you want to recommend a page, could be your page, could be your event. It's a fantastic way to just invite all your friends to it, save you a lot of work. And like I said, there used to be a Chrome plugin that allows you to do all this, but it was disabled in the last Facebook update. So that's the little JavaScript code that will allow you to do this again. So that's the two little tips I want to share with you, and I hope you do get value out of it. And now I'm going to switch this over to Jonathan Vogt, and he will show you what he wants to show, I suppose. I'm looking forward to it. So let me switch to Jonathan here. Okay, Jonathan, if you turn on your screen, it should work.
All right, let me see here. So tell me, you guys see, are you guys seeing it now?
I see the screen.
All right, great. Okay, cool. So John, really good stuff. I like the tips. I'm gonna definitely keep those in my arsenal for things to use. What I wanted to talk to everyone about hard today is increasing site revenue. So one of the things I was thinking about when we were planning the webinar is what kind of people are going to be in this webinar. So I know we have some bloggers and we have some website owners. So that's really, and even affiliates. So that's really what this is going to be about. So increasing site revenue. It's basically 3 techniques that I use for increasing my blog revenue and a few other niche sites that I own, and the results were actually pretty dramatic. So let's just get into it. So there's 3 simple methods that I've used, and obviously it's guaranteed, and obviously it's not, but so method number 1 is going after advertisers. Basically, a lot of people, they set up advertisements on their site, put up like OIO publisher or something like that, and then they just expect advertisers to come. And I used to actually have that mentality where it's kind of like, let's just see what people come, advertise on my blog or whatever website I own. And this actually, once I started getting rid of this mentality where it's like, let's just set it and forget it, that I actually really started to see a huge increase in my advertising revenue. So method number 1 is going after advertisers, and what I mean by that is instead of just doing the whole set it and forget it, what my team and I have done is we will go to a bunch of different websites. Let me click the next slide. Yeah, so we'll find a bunch of similar websites. For example, with my blog, what I did is I went to like John Chow and Zach Johnson and a couple of the blogs that are very similar to mine, find the advertisers on those sites, and then we contacted them. Hey, I noticed you're advertising on this website, and my site is similar. I'm willing to give you a great deal. Usually we give them like 15% off of whatever the normal price is. And by doing this, we were able to get a ton of advertisers. So using a program like OIL Publisher makes it really easy for them. Yeah, so rather than having the whole just throw up the advertising page, hope people come, actually using similar sites and using or finding the advertisers that way has actually been a huge way for us to do that. And I'll actually bring in some like actual statistics and revenue later on. So method number 1 actually brings a lot of new advertisers for us, and that worked really well. And then method number 2 is email marketing to the current advertisers. And so this is kind of a way that a lot of people, I think, once an advertiser's done advertising on your site, it's, you know, okay, it didn't work out or whatever, and you just leave them alone basically. But what we've been doing is sending out personalized emails to our current and past advertisers, and by doing that, it's been a huge way that we can say like, hey, I don't know if this worked or not for you, or why you're not advertising with us anymore, but if you come back, we're willing to give you a deal, whatever. And it's worked out extremely well because they've bought before, so they're familiar with our site. And I think this is something that just a lot of people don't do, and is, again, it's very effective. So point number 2 here is I put make sure to do this at least once a year in December. December is a huge month. It seems like people are trying to get rid of money. Companies that have extra money and want tax write-offs, they're just willing to buy a huge amount of advertising space. At least that's been my experience. So last December we made it was like over $10,000 from current and past advertisers that were wanting to get more advertisement space. So that was it was extremely effective. And then method number 3. So method number 1 is lots of new advertisers. Method number 2 is basically using the current advertisers you have to increase your revenue. And then method number 3 is bulk is better. And what we do with that is we basically try to pre-sell multiple months by discounting the price or big chunks of advertising space at cheaper prices. So if you combine method 2 and 1 with number 3, it's like the conversions are huge. And that's how my blog, for example, it's jonathanvolk.com. And we actually are completely sold out of advertising space, and we have been for quite a while. And some of the spots are actually sold out for an entire year in advance. So now we're really not having to do this as much. But like if you do this and if you're a website owner, you can really use this method effectively to go to similar websites, actually contact the advertisers, and increase your revenue that way. So this has been something that's very effective. And then the last little bonus tip that I have is creating a media kit. And when you create a media kit, it's basically a sales letter to potential advertisers. And I can't tell you how many advertisers have contacted us like, oh, this is, like, we've never gotten this from, from a blog or whatever, and this is really whatever. And it's really helped sell the advertising pretty effectively. So those are a couple of tips that I have for increasing site revenue. All my examples are very blog focused because that's what I mainly use this on, but I believe that you can really apply it to websites. Affiliates can apply this. If you have an affiliate landing page, go and get some advertisers on there as well. And that way you're getting the branders who are wanting to just brand their brand. You're getting that revenue from that, so you're covering your costs a little bit more. So that's basically it. That's my main tip. It's worked extremely well for me, and I know if you do this that you're definitely going to increase your revenue. So that's pretty much that.
All right, I got a question here from Eric. He's asking, can you actually see a copy of your media kit? Like, can you show it to us on the screen?
Yeah, let me bring that up real quick. It's in my, I'm finding it. So this is the media kit. It definitely needs updating, and I don't want to show the whole thing because there's some prices that I don't like to show unless people contact us first. But basically, the first part here is kind of a sales letter, like why jonathanvolk.com. And so I wrote about Tattoo Media, which surveyed 3,000 affiliates, and we were mentioned in there a couple times. And so it's similar to a sales letter that you'd see on kind of ClickBank or whatever, and have some graphs. And then under the sales letter, then we actually have like our testimonials. I got testimonials from my friends who have advertised with us and had good experience. So again, it's very similar to a sales page, and having this kind of stuff has really, really helped us. So we got one from Eric from ClickBooth. And then traffic, basically just screenshots of Alexa, Google Analytics, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want to get too much further into the prices, just because I do like to keep some of the prices within the media kit, but that'll give you a good idea of how we do it. And yeah, it's been very effective. So yeah, I think that's just about it.
All right, sounds good. All right, we're going to turn over to Zach now, and Zach's going to share with us Okay, Zach, we're going to switch it over to you. Turn on your screen sharing.
All right, can you guys see this?
Yeah, I can see it. You're coming across not very loud. Can you speak, get closer to the mic?
Yeah, does that help at all?
Still not as loud as when Jonathan was, but I guess it's better.
All right, I'll try and I'll talk a bit louder for you guys. So everybody wants to have a great website, but a great domain is even more important. So what I focused on for the past year or so is trying to get some really great domain names, and without going through premier auctions and stuff like that, you're going to end up paying around $50,000 plus for some really great domain names. So other ways to get around this are through domain name expiring services. And a lot of people don't know about these because they're kind of in the dark, because there's really some gems to make money here. One of my favorite is namejet.com. And as you can see on their main page, they got a ton of domains that are expiring within the next week or so. You got camera lenses, drinkware, just some really great names here. And usually you can get a good .net, but most of them are .net, .org. Let's go inside and see what the bidding process kind of goes on. It's basically a pre-screening before you can actually get into the domain name process. So if you go to namejet.com, set up an account, find a domain that you like, say dailyplanner.org, you would put in your bid of like $69, go through the bid process, and that qualifies you to go into auction once the domain is fully up for grabs. And that's what you would see. Let's say pvc.net, that's one that I'm listed in right now. And you can see the current bid on just this domain name is over $3,000. There's still 2 days left. You can see all the bidders currently advertising to try and place bids. Most of them want to just put in a minimum bid of 69, and that way they can see the action, or at least put a bid later on. But this is well into the thousands right now, and I'll probably end up much higher considering there's only 2 days left. And in the last hour or so, you usually see the most bids up there. Another service I use is pool.com, and you can get some really great domain names in here. I've got ppc.org, that ended up going for a few thousand. Even just if you're looking for your specific name, as in zachjohnson.com, you can just put that into the search, and then should it ever become available, you'll get a notification if and when that ever happens. So namejet and pool.com, those are two great examples of ways to get domain names that you might think have never been possible to get. I also wanted to talk a bit about flippa.com. I'm not sure if we're going to talk about that later, but it's another service I've used to buy websites, and I've actually spent over $75,000 on buying large established websites. One of them was bloggingtips.com. I think we might be talking about this later, so I'm not going to get too much into it right now, but those are two websites that I definitely recommend you use. Flippa for buying websites, pool.com, and Namejet for getting domain names that are expired and soon to be released. Over to you, John.
Oh, okay. One person asked, Eric asked a question. Are these domains guaranteed to expire, or are you bidding on the chance that the owner won't renew?
The majority of stuff that's listed, as you can see, the pre-release domains, these are ones that Namejet is pretty much almost guaranteed to get. So you're bidding on these, and they're going to be released. It's not just in a chance that they are, but these ones are pre-screened that they're going to go out.
Okay. That's and anything else? All right. So that sounds good. Thank you, Zach. Let me just switch things back here, and okay. We are now back. Now what we're going to do is we are going to open the phone lines to you. So if you have a question, if you look at your GoToWebinar control panel, you'll see a hand icon. If you have a question and you have a mic, you can push your hand icon and raise, and that tells us you're going to raise your hand and you have a question for us, and we're going to put you live, and you can answer the question. Now keep in mind that I am recording this, so and we'll probably be rebroadcasting this later on. So if you don't want to be heard on air or rebroadcast, then you can type your question into the chat window or the question window, so we can answer the question that way. So let's just test this out here. We got all right, Ben Lang, can you hear us?
Hi. Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Oh, hi Ben. Okay, what's your question, Ben?
Hi. So I run epiclaunch.com, a blog for young entrepreneurs, and I've never really focused on monetizing it too much, but I was wondering if you had any tips on how I could more effectively.
All right, let's fire up your blog here. And
Yeah, bringing it up now.
so,
Okay, great.
can you spell it for
I think
us?
I've heard of your blog before.
Okay.
Okay, so how do you spell this? Yeah.
Epic Launch, EPIC launch.com.
E-P-I. Oh, Epic. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Epic Launch.
Yeah.
Nice and clean. I like it. So you want to learn how you can better monetize this?
Yeah, I mean, I use buy-sell ads. There's an advertising page. I've contacted a few advertisers, but I never really focused on it so much. I was wondering if you had any tips, or I'm not really sure exactly.
I can think of one. One of the big things for me is, and I know John's a huge fan of this too, is the whole email capturing. And I see that you do have an email submit on the side, but
Yeah.
one of the biggest ways that I get emails is actually directly from the, if you go to my site, it's like a pop-up, whatever it's called, the hover window. And I use pop-up domination for
Pop-up
that.
domination?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Pop-up, right?
So that's actually where I get the majority of my emails. I don't know if you have that or not.
Mm-hmm.
I
I do have it, but I've never really monetized email marketing. It's not something I know how to do really well. So I feel kind of useless with all those emails.
Yeah. Well, the best way to do that is if you create some premium content that you can sell to your users. I find that my users, they buy from me my products more than anything else. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, and you have the email list, then that's actually a really good way to monetize. So.
All right. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I would. This box by itself, this newsletter sign-up box by itself right here, won't be anywhere near as effective as the fade-in or the screen pop that pops up. If you put that on there, like you can use pop-up dominator, or you can use one by the who's my friend? Like the Max Block Press one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll increase your sign-up anywhere from 5 to 10 times.
Yeah, I have pop-up nomination. I've used it before.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is that the money really is in the back end of the system more so than the advertising you see in the front. Like unless you get a tremendous amount of volume or traffic, it's pretty tough to monetize a low traffic blog or even a blog that gets less than a couple of thousand page views a day with just advertising, because the rates are generally quite low. So
Got it.
Yeah, you're definitely, and even if you don't use the list for monetization, the list can be used to drive traffic back to your blog. So it's a great traffic generator as well.
True.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, thanks so much.
Awesome.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
So we're gonna go to the next here. Neil William, let me just unmute you, Neil. Actually, Neil William is. Okay, Neil, I can't unmute you until you enter your audio pin. Doesn't seem to be working. Okay, Neil, I just sent you an audio pin. You got to enter that pin in for me to unmute you. So while we're waiting for that, we have Michael Lashish. Hi, Michael. Hello, Michael. I guess Mike, yeah, I don't hear Michael, so I don't think the Mike's probably not online, so. Okay, let's go to the next one here. Celine. Hello, Celine? Selena or Celine? I hear something. Do you hear something? I hear something in the background, but I don't hear you. Okay. All right, we'll try one more. If this is not working, then we're just going to go to the questions, I guess. Wayne Wymore. Hello, Wayne. You're online. I guess people raise their hands and then they're not coming, they're not answering. All right, we're going to try one more here. Let's try. Vance Silva. Vance, are you there?
Yes, John. Can
Hey,
you hear
Vance.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What can we do for you,
Okay,
Vance?
I put a question in the box. I missed where you were putting the code for the Facebook.
Oh, the code for the Facebook thing? Okay, yeah.
I have the code, but where do you
Okay, you
paste
got the
it
code?
or whatever? How do you use it?
Okay, what you do is, I'll do this quickly one more time. So let's just go to a Facebook. Let's go to an event thing here. And the code is, let's see, launch at laugh at the end of the world. So basically, select the gas, and where you put the code is in the address bar.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where you put the code. So you just paste it onto your address bar, hit enter, and it will select everybody.
Okay,
Like
that's
that.
great.
All right, so that's how you use the code.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Vance, thank you very much. Neil Williams. Hello, Neil?
Yes. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, John, I had a question. My blog is pretty fairly new. Do you want the address?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. It's called theromancefiles.com.
The row?
Romance, like romance, R-O-M.
Yep.
A-N-C-E.
A-N-C-E?
C-E.
Oh, romance
C as
file.
in cat. File,
romance.
yes, with an S.
Romance file.
Yes.
Romancefile.com. All right.
Right.
Oh, I must have spelled it wrong here. So it's the romance file?
Files with an S.
Oh, files. Okay, with an S. All right, here we go. Oh, the romancefile.com. Okay, and what do you want to know?
Okay, my first question is, I just started using Google Analytics like maybe the middle of March, and I'm trying to understand the difference between those numbers and, say, the numbers that I get from my hosting company. I use Bluehost for my hosting. So I'm just trying to confuse and trying to understand what's really going on my site.
Okay, and let me take a guess here. Bluehost is showing a lot more traffic than Google.
Right, it's showing a lot more uniques, a lot more visits and things like that. So I'm just trying to understand what exactly the difference is or what's happening.
The main difference is that Google, it's done measures using a piece of code that's on your you embed onto your blog, right? And while your Bluehost, their traffic is done at the server's level, and the two numbers will never match. And
okay,
the other thing is, what Google defines as a unique visitor isn't necessarily what your host will define as a unique visitor. So this is why you're getting different numbers. As for which one is more accurate, in terms of real numbers and real visitors to your site, the Google number is more accurate. And I'm not sure if Zach or Jonathan will agree with this. Maybe you guys can chime in on that. Hey, Jonathan, you guys still there? Or did you guys left? hold on there. I seem to have mute those guys. I seem to have mute my presenters. I seem I see. All right, hold on. Let me unmute them. Sorry about that, Jonathan and Zach. And now.
There we go.
Yeah, you can help. You can help them out here.
Yeah, I totally agree with what John was saying. The Google Analytics does seem to be more the accepted standard, and I think the Bluehost, for example, sometimes they don't they count like web robots such as Google Crawler, so it might count as a unique hit, whereas Google doesn't necessarily count those. So usually Google seems to be a little bit more accurate.
Okay, so what do you think is the best number as far as really seeing how my blog is growing? Because I've been using, I've been going by my Bluehost for like the last 4 months. I've pretty much been up for like 4 months. So when I started over to Google, I started to notice that the numbers were different. I know they were going to be different because I hadn't been having it that long, but the numbers were real lower, and I'm like, what is going on here? What does that mean by absolute unique visitor versus, Bluehost having a unique visitor? I mean, are they counting bots? I mean, what's really being counted as traffic here? So you're saying Google is probably more accurate?
Yeah, the difference between an absolute unique visitor and a unique visitor, basically. Google or most analytics would consider a unique visitor as a person who visits within a 24-hour period. So when someone comes to your blog, that's one unique. And it becomes any time during the same day, like 2 hours, 3 hours later, Google still considers that one unique. All right. And if it becomes next day, then it becomes as 2 uniques. And if it counts the third day, it'll be 3 uniques. So basically, over a 24-hour period, it counts as unique. An absolute unique is basically measures how many people came to your blog in a 1-month period. Right? So if you just measure unique, if one person comes to your blog every single day, that shows up as 30 uniques. But in terms of app, it's really only one person.
Right.
So that's an absolute unique. But when Google say, well, so you'll see the number absolute is always a lot lower because it's measured across a 1-month cycle.
Right.
Because an example would be, I guess, if you look at Facebook, Facebook say they have 600 million users because they actually have 600 million users. But when you look at uniques, if they were to measure on a 24-hour period, it'll be increased by 30 times.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the difference. That's the main difference between the two.
And one last thing, rather than focusing a ton on how much traffic you're getting, I think because traffic is not necessarily how much money you're going to make from it, if that's the main goal for you. So if you wanted to, one of the statistics that you could focus on is how many newsletter opt-ins you're getting, for example, because that you can turn into a monetizable amount. Versus how much traffic you're getting. Once they're there and gone, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Yes, I understand. Because that was another thing. I started using Aweber like maybe a month ago, last month, and so I was wondering why I wasn't, getting a lot more comments, a lot more sign-ups. So maybe my traffic wasn't as high as I thought it was. But I have gotten probably a good 10 or so newsletter sign-ups since I started with Aweber. So they are signing up. I need to figure out a way to get more traffic. I want to get more traffic, obviously, so I can come up with some good ways to monetize this type of website.
But one of the best way to get more traffic, the first is the free way is simply to find the biggest blog that's in your same category and send them a guest post. Send them your best possible guest post that you can possibly make, and just send it to that blogger, and hope he publishes it. Because when he publishes it, he'll have your link on there, and it will, like, sometimes it may not send you that much traffic, but the traffic they send you will be very, very quality traffic, will be very, very targeted traffic because they're in the same category as you are.
Right, exactly. I mean, up until now, I've only done just social networking, my Facebook, some Twitter, and then LinkedIn. Those are the only ways I pretty much get my major traffic now. So I haven't really gotten out there and really got into SEO and things like that. The thing about this industry, though, John, with the whole dating and relationship, most of the major players, most of the big names in this industry, you know, are already authors. They're already doing, you know, seminars and things like that. I mean, they may have a website, and on that website they may have, you know, a blog, but they're not really quote unquote bloggers. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, they're already selling books, they're already selling tapes and seminars and things like that. So I haven't really found anybody who's just really a quote unquote blogger. They just have like a blogging page and they don't really blog that much per se. So that's the kind of thing I find out about this particular type of content, is that there are not many really bloggers. They're just kind of like, they already sell their books, they're already selling their seminars, and they just, oh, by the way, I got a blog on my website. That's pretty much how they operate.
Yeah, yeah. You'll probably see a shift in that in the future.
Right.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Neil. And let's see. Let's try this one more time. I believe we have Mats on the line. Mats, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hi, Matt. What can we do for you?
I have 2 domains. I can paste them here in the message box. I'm going to brand myself, so I was thinking my last name is a bit hard to spell. It's mats.rehn.com.
I see the domain here. I can open that up.
Yeah. So
Looking guy, Matt.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I have another one that is internetmarketing.pro. There we have the pop-up domination, yeah. Maybe it's easier for people to remember that one.
Okay, so what's your question?
The question is, which one should I use to brand myself? Because I don't know if it's hard to people to recognize the first domain you saw there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my recommendation, is your business blog should be internetmarketingpro.com.
Okay.
And keep this blog as kind of like a documentary of your journey to your personal blog. See, when I first started, I just used johnchow.com, and because at that time it was my personal blog, and I never thought, and the case study was just the case study. But the original purpose of my blog was just to update my friends and family on what was happening in my life, and I never intended to make any money from it. So looking back at it, if I had to do it all over again, I would have kept johnchow.com as my personal blog, and then I would have started another blog to do the case study and monetize that. Because today, my friends and family, they don't read my personal blog anymore. So there's no rule that says you can't have both. And so Jonathan, what do you think? Did I mute you guys again?
Nope.
Yeah,
I totally agree. I think that's a good idea, because same with me, my family and stuff used to read my personal blog, but now they definitely don't. It's boring to them, I guess. But so yeah, I agree with what John was saying completely.
Okay, put all the focus on it.
I was just going to say, all 3 of us, me, John, and the other John, we all started our websites with our names, and even if we wanted to sell our business, we really never could, because that's what we're known as, and that's what our brand is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something you consider down the road too. You know, if your blog becomes big and turns into a full-blown business, and you want to sell it, it's a lot easier to sell Internet Marketing Pro than it is to sell your name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I heard that Show Money have got a lot of offers.
Yeah.
Even though it's pretty person.
At least that's his nickname, you know. So it's kind of quasi-sellable.
Yeah. Thank you then.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. Oh, you know, I've shown a lot of hands up. So if your question's been answered, you can push your hands down so it doesn't show up again. That would really be great, because we're all right. Let's go to Renee Pope. Renee, are you there? Hello? Hello? Renee? Yes, hello? Really bad connection there. Either slow internet. We can't hear you, Renee. Okay, yeah, I guess Renee must be on the other side of the world, but
Can't hear her, yeah.
yeah, I have a 50 megabit line, so I should be able to pick up anything. Let's try Warren Wooden. Warren, are you
Hey
there?
John, how are you guys?
Good, good. Hi, Warren. What can we do for you?
I just celebrated my first year blogging. My site is plrinternetmarketing.com, and I actually had my first interview today.
Nice.
Oh, I spelled it with two
Yeah,
R's.
that's it. Oh, PLR Internet
Internet marketing. Yeah, I
Marketing.
spelled it with two I's.
Got two I's.
PLR Internet Marketing.com.
But anyway, so I spent my first year building a solid foundation. I have about 425 articles now. My readership is quite a bit. Got quite a few fans, quite a few followers and stuff like that. And I'm just wondering, you know, what would you guys do if this was your blog for the second year? What direction would the three of you take?
So you, go ahead.
I can just start off and say, what's your goal with the website? And is that what you're trying to do long term and you want to turn it into a business?
Yes, it is.
And all these ads that are on the site right now, are these all affiliate based or they're actual sales spots?
Affiliate and mixed in with sales spots.
Okay, I would just, let's see. I would make sure that something is branded there, because right when you get to the website, it says PLR marketing. And I'm not saying that all the people are that bright, but you might not think of plrmarketing.com. So put something out there that is branded into their head and says .com, and possibly play with the ad space. So you have not so many, but for any advertisers that are paying money, that they get premium placement. And then like John discussed earlier, you can go out there and try and find advertisers that are related to your website, and they'll start paying you to get placement there. And then as Chow mentioned, you can start blogging on other websites with a guest post. So that'll kind of circulate everything together. Your advertisers will get more viewers to your website while you'll be growing at the same time. So it's a slow progression to get to that next level, but implementing those few steps, it'll help you along the way.
Okay, so guest posting and advertisers. Okay.
Another thing oh, go ahead.
Yeah, another thing I would consider, your blog is pretty much ideal to launch your own product.
Okay.
Yeah.
The blog traffic tactics there is mine.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, you could definitely expand on that. Like, you know, here's a little thing I discovered about, you know, pricing models. When the information is in an ebook format, you give away for free. But you take that information and just turn it into a real book that you buy at Amazon. Suddenly, now it goes to $20. Take that information again and turn it into an audio course, and suddenly the price goes up again. Take that same information and transform it into a live webinar or a live event, and the price goes up even more. But really, it all from the same core information. It's just taking the information and putting it into a different medium. It automatically changes the price. So you can do a lot with your ebook. I mean, you can do your ebook as your base to start and just expand on that and create a whole series of product on that.
Yeah, that was my first product. So the second one is hopefully going to be a video internet marketing course, something a little bit more detailed, maybe a 12-hour course thing.
One of the other things I wanted to say is where you're at right now, where you're at about 1,000 RSS. This is kind of where I plateaued, and I had a very difficult time to go from the 10,000 or the 1,000 to the 10 to the 20,000, and you know, above that. But one of the big things that took me there was really doing a lot of guest posting. I did some on John Chow and Shoe Money and some other places, and then also launching my free guide. And I see you have a free guide here.
Yeah.
So, you know, even if you were to like redo your guide, relaunch it, and do it more PLR, because when I see your guide, I don't see much about PLR. It's about profitable e-business.
Right.
And if you were to target PLR sites, I think you could really launch it, and then you get a lot more attention that way. So it's just an idea.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Next we try. Like I said, once we answer your question, please do put your hands down because I'm showing 70 hands raised. So all right, let's Samantha Love. Samantha, you
Hello.
there? Hello, how are you?
Hello. Hi, I'm fine, thanks. How are you? It's a bit of a basic question, really. You're obviously all very well established and you've been doing this for quite a long time. But for anybody who's new to blogging or maybe affiliate marketing, it's both inspiring to see people who are doing so well, but obviously it's also quite daunting as well because other bloggers and marketers seem to be so far ahead of the game than you are when you're first starting, and you maybe feel like you're never going to catch up. So with that in mind, what advice would you give to somebody who's literally taking the first steps?
The first advice I would give, and this is from me, and I'm sure Zach and John will chime in here. The first advice is really be consistent. You know, if blogging is what you want to do, and then you should definitely commit an X amount of time to say, I'm going to do this, and just be extremely consistent at it. Like since my blog started over 5 years ago, I've done an average of 2 blog posts a day, every day for 5 years.
Right.
There's never been a single day in the blog's history where there has never been one new blog post, at least one new blog post up there. That's 7 days a week. Yeah. And I believe one of the biggest reasons for my success is that level of consistency. Even during a time when I had no readership, because I started the same as everybody else. You start the blog fresh. There's no traffic, no one coming in, nobody's commenting on my blog post, right? And for the first 8 months of the blog's life, it had less than 1,000 readers and virtually very, very few comments. But I still did an average of 2 blog posts a day. And now that the blog is making the money that it does, I'm still doing the same amount of posts, right? So I suppose the moral of the story is that, your level of success will not be determined by what you're doing when you're already made it. Your level of success will be determined by what you're doing when you're struggling.
Right.
All right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
For me, consistency has always been my main strong suit. I feel sick to my stomach if I don't have a new blog post up. Like that's the perfect. When I go for the day, and it's noon, I'm going. I need a new blog post up, and because it's like I pretty much became my nature. Like I feel a need to actually do that. It's like breathing. So Zach, Jonathan, you want to chime in?
Well, I would say there's a billion different blogs out there, and there's a million more coming out every day. What you have to do is say, how am I going to stand out from the crowd and distinguish myself that it's going to make me different from everybody else? I did that with my Zach Johnson tune, the cartoon that's become familiar over the time. John Chow did that from in the beginning. He was known as the guy who was making a ton of money just for blogging. And then Jonathan Volk had his affiliate guide, and he's known in the affiliate space. So if you're going to come out with a blog concept, make sure to do your research and see what everybody else is doing, and then try and do something different. If everybody's serious, try and make a funny blog, but still get your point across. It's all about being different and standing out from the crowd because there's so many blogs out there right now, it's hard to get the attention of everyone out there.
All right. Well, thank you for your help.
All right, Samantha, thank you. All right, let's try. We have Doreen Del Alba.
Yeah, hi John.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
What can we do for you?
First off, I really enjoyed your guys' presentation. Very good. My question is, it's a bit different. I've been in this business just about from its inception, so I've seen it morph through all these different stages. And I've never been attracted to the blogging thing, but I'm really contemplating now to do some sort of professional blogging where I could put out my years and years of experience in high-tech business. However, I don't feel like putting my name out there. So the other thing is I like to work with other people. I like to have a team of writers, if you wish, other experts in this area of high-tech. So I'm wondering if you guys would comment a bit on I'm thinking of a crossbreed between a blog and an e-zine, something between Mashable and John Chow in the middle, where you can have multiple writers, but yet be a daily event. Have you seen something like that? Do you have any thoughts on it?
I don't see anything wrong with that. Like I said, there's no rule that says a blog just has to be written by you. You know, some of the biggest blog has an entire staff of writers. So I don't see much of a problem with. As for any type of blog that's kind of like a cross, you mean a cross between a personal blog with writers? I would say the best example would probably be Copy Blogger. Like everyone knows Copy Blogger is run by Brian Clark, but the truth of the matter is Brian Clark hardly ever writes from Copy Bloggers anymore. He actually has a full-time staff of like 3 or 4 writers that writes for Copy Blogger. So and if you know, if you got the money to hire a staff and set this all up, by all means. I mean, there's definitely many examples out there of blogs that are run as a media company. You know, and some of them are very big. Mashable is just one example.
Right, and this brings me to the second part of the question, which probably you both, all of you, have an opinion on, and that is, how important is it to have a specific niche or theme to your magazine or blog? I mean, you know, if you talk about gardening is one thing, if you talk about high tech or making money or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's very important to have a specific focus, because just blogging about anything, it doesn't seem to really work that well. So you definitely need a pretty specific focus, and I think that's where a lot of the loyal readers will come from, because you have something that they can relate to.
Yeah, you should definitely be known as the site to go to for this information. Like, even though my blog is called the Miscellaneous Ramblings, most people know me as the blogger to go to learn how to make money by blogging. So, you know,
it's also important to know what your advertisers are going to be, because if you're going to create a website and throw a ton of content out there, and then you decide you want to start making money, what type of advertiser are you going to want to go to? Because you're not going to want a software company advertising on your articles that are talking about gardening. So you want to stay very niche specific. That way you can find advertisers, and they'll have relevant advertising to going to customers that will potentially produce leads for them.
Well, great. Well, really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. All right, let's go to Rick G. Rick, are you there? We seem to have
Hello, can you hear me?
Rick,
Yep,
yes.
I'm here. I've got a site that's called flavortownusa.com. It's didn't start out as a any type of, it was just a passion project because I loved a TV show. But now I'm at the point of, I've got a lot of traffic and I want to do more monetization. And yeah, again, this might not, be I'm just struggling with good ways to do it. So flavortownusa.com.
F-L-O,
FLAVORTOWN, flavortownusa.com. Yep, and then yep, USA.com. So this is basically just a, it started as just a passion project around a TV show. People visit it. You can see I've got ads there, but I've actually got a lot of good traffic now, and my struggle is what kind of, I've looked at ClickBank products. I've looked at the Amazon, route selling, things that are related. I've just started the MailChimp, subscribing, getting subscribers up there. So, this may not, I guess at this point, what would you do? I mean, this may not, follow that affiliate marketing niche at all at this point. I mean, like I said, it didn't start off as this, so.
I think your site is probably geared more toward physical product sales than informational sales. What networks are you part of right now?
These are just AdSense, so I'm not really part of. I mean, that's the thing. I've got a Commission Junction account. I've got a ClickBank, and I was like, well, maybe I can, gear some food products. I mean, it is tailored. It's a niche. It's a foodie, a travel site, and now that I've got, I've got people coming now. Now I want to switch it, and again, maybe I can't. Maybe I can't switch it to a pure. I just trying to grow the money more on this.
I'm looking at the ads that are being displayed on your site, and they seem fairly irrelevant. So I think one of the things you might try and do, if I were to own this site, one of the ads I would try that's very successful right now is like I'm trying to remember, Groupon or Living Social, because this is geared towards food and whatnot. Living Social and Groupon, they convert very well for that kind of demographic. So and you get paid pretty well. So it might be an ad you might actually try and run as an affiliate and see what you do.
Okay.
Zach, anything?
I was actually going to say the same thing with the coupons. Yeah. But you could, if this is a type of site, what you could do is feature recipes, and that would actually add more content, and people are always searching recipes on the search engine, so it could become a new source for you to funnel traffic to the website. I know it's more about diners and drive-ins and location, but people are always looking for recipes, so should they come across your website, it might be a resource that they will come back to in the future looking for, let's say Guy Fieri is on his show, and he ate something, but you want to know how to make what he ate. You could feature that on your website, and that's another content resource where you could have a decent amount of AdSense ads showing that are relevant because it sees more text content. So it's more about getting content for people to come back to the website while search engines would send you traffic at the same time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like I say, I was just in the mix. I was like, crap, I don't know if I can really pivot it beyond what it's doing, but, or what I could sell. But yeah, those are good ideas. All right, thanks, guys.
All right. Let's see. All right, let's try. Neil Williams, are you there? Hello, Neil? Neil? Okay, I guess Neil's mic is maybe not working. We're going to Alex? Hello, Alex?
Yep. Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
I was wondering, do you have any experience with working with websites which are not in English? Meaning, maybe you have some outsourcers that might write some content in French or Spanish and trying to go to sell products which are not only in English?
I don't have any non-English website myself personally, but I do have some friends who translated their website into Chinese because the China market is huge. So, well, what did you want to Well, what's your question about? Do you want to translate the website, or do you want to monetize the foreign language websites? That's your question.
Well, I'm originally French, so je parle français and English, and the French market for affiliate marketing or websites and blogging and so on, there's a lot less competition, so it's a lot easier to rank for any kind of keywords. So I've had a lot of success with my products and my websites in France. I've tried the same in English with Google.com, and I find it extremely difficult to do the same thing. So I'm contemplating maybe opening some websites for the Spanish market and maybe Italians and so on. And I was wondering if you guys had any experience with that.
Okay. I don't personally, I don't personally have any experience with that, but I was looking at people who have done well by starting up variations of their website using .fr instead of .com and seeing how they rank better in Google France version. And a lot of outsourcing that they've done was through Elance or other websites where they can get all of their work translated fairly cheap. So in the long run, it made it worthwhile for them to set up a new website with new or little bit spun content but translated. So it was basically copying their website but for a whole different country, and I saw that they were doing well. I never got into it though.
You also keep in mind that when you translate your website into another language, the amount of advertisers that are suddenly available dwindles tremendously. Because right now in the U.S. market and the English market is the biggest market, so it has the biggest advertiser base and the biggest affiliate base. Once you get out of that, the inventory of advertisers and offers shrinks tremendously. So you got to take that into account as well. All right. All right. So next we have Trent. Trent, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Trent. Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep. John, thanks very much for hosting the webinar tonight. I grew up in your hometown of Vancouver. I live down in San Diego now. The website that I have is onlineincomelab.com.
Lab without the S?
And the way that I'm trying to be different among internet teachers. So I was the CEO of a startup that I started in 01 and sold in 08, and I won some awards, and the company won some awards, and I kind of really got into internet marketing about 5 months ago, building niche websites, and I've had some success there, and I'm now starting to use the success that I've had to try and teach others. And so obviously, like you folks have, I'd like to build my readership on my blog and increase my credibility and my awareness, and obviously the money that the site generates. So I'm just looking for any critique that you have on what I've got here so far, and any ideas or actions. You've given a lot of good ones so far, but maybe you have some that are particular to this.
I like
looking through. Sorry, go ahead.
I said, oh, it so far it certainly looks nice and clean, very readable. On how I launched 5 sites in 1 week with virtual assistant. You might try a little more enticing graphics on the email sign-up box.
Okay.
That's the first thing I see. I suppose disconnect with me and subscribe to RSS. You might want to. I would just like move that all onto one line and move everything up a little bit here.
Okay.
Just from a little design wise.
One of the things too is that since you have experience like running a big company and selling it, I think that you have a lot of potential to become an authority. So one of the ways that you can do that fairly quickly is by doing multiple guest posts. And I know we said this before, but I think that would probably be the best way for you to do it very quickly. So your best content should be guest posts on other blogs, and then use that to generate the links to your blog.
Okay. John, I've already sent you a request for a guest post, so hopefully I'll hear back from you.
Okay. Wayne, Wymore. Hello, Wayne. From Crossroad Technology. I'll give you a little plug there. Since we will be hearing from Wayne. Simon Kincaid, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Simon. You're on the air.
Wow, I can't believe it. You must be loving your 50 megabit line. That's amazing. The internet is literally amazing. I do love that. I mean, Samantha sort of asked the question I was looking for. Can you hear me properly, first of all?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Okay. I was just wondering about. I mean, I have all the technical proficiency. I have all the graphic design proficiency, but my personal stumbling block has been in two parts. Number one, what subject do I start with? And number two, credibility. I feel personally that I can't go into the website. I can't start putting a website together which is basically, oh, this is how you make money online, because I'm not making money online yet. So I'm trying to work out where to start, essentially. And it's on the basis of credibility and subject. Does that make sense at all? Or?
Yeah, we can answer that question. You should start with something that you're passionate about and you have knowledge of. That's my criteria for blogging, basically. Are you passionate about the subject and do you have knowledge of the subject? Because if you're not passionate about it or have knowledge of it, chances are you're not going to stick around with it long enough to actually see it through, because it does take a while for your blog to get traction and build up a readership. Like I said, from 0 to 8 months, my blog barely got 1,000 readers. But because I like my topic, and internet marketing was what I did prior to starting my blog, so I didn't know about the subject. Therefore, I was able to write about the subject, and I kept going on it, even though the blog made absolutely nothing. So you should definitely look at that. And I do see it happening a lot. A lot of people will start a blog about making money online when they actually make no money online. And I suppose we're all partly blamed to this. We're all partly to blame for this because they see Zach and they see me and they see Jonathan making money from the blog, and we're talking about how to make money online. So they figure that's probably how you make money online. When in naturality, that's not the case. That's not the case. And if you look at blogs that actually make lots and lots of money, they're not in the make money online niche anyway. They're usually in some other. I guess the biggest money making blog in the world is probably the Huffington Post, and they don't talk about making money online. So when it comes to choosing a topic, what are you passionate about? What will you do for no money? That's the criteria. If you're willing to do it for no money, just for fun, and if it makes you money, it turns into a business, then fantastic. That's probably the topic you want to talk about. Zach, Jonathan, you agree? Disagree? I don't know.
It's really
that's
tough
perfect.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, but I've seen a lot of websites for sale, and it's like, wow, that's a great idea. I know I can put something together, so I'll quickly go buy a domain name. I'll set up a WordPress blog, and I'll write 3 or 4 articles, and then a day or two later, I'm over it because it's not something I was passionate about, and I really don't care. So I know I could build a blog about making a house or how to sell gold and watch it fluctuate, but I really have no passion in that, so I'll put it together and just leave it there, and it turns to nothing. So as John said, you just got to write about something you actually care about.
All right. Next question from Charles. Charles, are you there?
Yep. Can you guys hear me okay?
Okay, you're great, Charles.
First of all, thank you for putting on this call. You guys, with Simon's question, I think Samantha's question, and Matt's question, you guys answered quite a bit for me, because while I've been in the, around the internet business for a couple of years. I run an offline business and I consult with local businesses, but I've wanted to start a blog, and I've certainly installed and put up, gosh, probably 24 blogs now, so that's not a problem with the technology and getting started. But what I wanted to ask you guys, because you did answer my question through the last 2 questions, and especially the very last one, Simon, just before, I was in the same place. I wanted to start a blog on blogging and how lucrative blogging can be, and I haven't done that, so it doesn't feel like something, it doesn't feel like a natural fit. But at the same time, I wanted to know that the 2 questions that I had was, could I start a blog with the intent of selling it on a particular subject? Like if I wanted to start a blog on blogging and put it up for sale, is there anything wrong with that? And the second question is, I wanted to ask you specifically about resources that you guys might know of to get a domain and hosting and everything outside of U.S. jurisdiction, because the blog that I want to start will be a very controversial one, and I don't want to have any challenges from a government level with jurisdiction-wise of getting shut down for any reason. So hope that wasn't too long-winded.
Yeah, just for the jurisdiction one, I could probably do that. You can just do a simple search. There are a lot of web hosts outside the United States. Like you can search for, say, if you want to look in Canada, just search for Canada web hosting. If you want to, like, if you really want to be outside of U.S. jurisdiction, just host with the on the Indian Reserve. I believe most of the gambling sites, online gambling sites, host with the oh, what's that Indian tribe in Quebec? I forgot what they are, but yeah, all the gambling sites, 90% of them are hosted on that reserve, because well, they issued them a gaming license, even though the Canadian government says they can't do that. The Indians going, screw you. Yeah, that's really what they're doing, and the Canadian government is not going to go in there. Oh, if I can know which tribe was it, which Indian tribe was that? I forgot, but yeah. But Bodog is hosted by them. Party Poker is hosted by them. 90% of all the poker sites are hosted in that one reserve in Quebec. But you can also host well, there's also some Chinese. You always go to host in China. Where is the Pirates Bay hosted? Do you know, Jonathan? Was that?
No idea. That kind of stuff is a little bit out of my realm of knowledge, so you knew a lot more than that.
Yeah. But generally, a Google search on offshore hosting will find you just a whole bunch, you know, offshore web hosting.
Perfect. And as far as starting a blog that my intent is to sell, is that something that, I mean, is that even a model that people might use to start a blog? Because I really want to start a blog about blogging, because I've read enough about it where I'm inspired by it and I want other people to be aware of it. And I haven't yet had a blog like yours, John, or any of you guys. And you guys have different niches that you guys blog about, but you do promote blogging as a means of making money and that sort of thing. And when you talk about starting something that you are good at or something that you're passionate about, a lot of people say do what you know. And if somebody just left a job working for the IRS or working as a CPA and they want to do something else or they want to blog about something else, oftentimes they don't really want to blog about what they know or what they were involved in. There's a lot of attorneys that leave the legal field and they get involved in doing tours in the Grand Canyon or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's why I say blog about your passion. Like, most people don't work at their passion; they work at a job. And like I said, in your case, the person who works for the IRS, that's not his passion. He wants to maybe he might go canoeing, or he might play chess, or he might like to shoot things. So if he wants to leave his job and wants to blog, obviously, while he may know taxes and stuff, he's not passionate about it. But chances are, if he's passionate about something, he will know that topic. Like, I didn't know. I know several people, and they're very, very passionate about plane spotting. I didn't know what that is until I found out what it is about. Plane spotting is where you go to an airport and you watch the airplanes land. That's plane spotting. And when I was living in Vancouver, every time I would drive to the airport and I would see these cars parked basically just near the runway, and there's all these people there just sitting outside with lawn chairs, and they're plane spotting. They're just watching the planes land. I'm going, what kind of sport is that? Or what kind of hobby is that? But apparently, this is a nationally recognized hobby. There's actually an organization for it. And so one day I actually went out there and actually talked to some of these people, and they take this stuff really, really seriously. They actually have journals, and they actually know which plane's taking off, which plane's landing, what time they take, or what time they land. It's crazy. So they're passionate about it, and believe it or not, there are people with blogs on it. So there you go. Right?
Got it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All right. So, okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, that's you.
Hello. Okay. I wanted to find out how much is each new addition to an email list worth?
What was the question again? I couldn't hear that.
I apologize. How much is each new addition to an email list worth?
How does each addition to an email work?
How
Email
much?
list worth.
How much
I'm
per?
sorry.
How much per email is it worth to us? Is what you're saying?
No, I'm sorry. It's my microphone is very, very tiny. How much is each new addition to an email list worth? And is it worthwhile to send out a promotional item to encourage people to set up a site profile?
So how much is each person on my email list worth?
Yes.
Every industry is different. In my particular niche, or in what I do, and several factors, many factors, but generally the type of market you're in, because obviously some markets are worth more money than other markets, and even within this market itself, they have different work. So that's the first factor. The other factor is how good your sales funnel is. Like, if all you do is just collect email and you just sell advertising to the email and that's it, it's not going to be worth as much as if you set up a complete sales funnel where you are sending people on your list multiple mailings with different offers, right? So how much is it worth? Well, in my case, each email list is worth $10 a person to me. That's in my case now. And it's because, and I managed to increase that over the last few years simply because I've been tweaking my sales funnel and I've been changing the stuff I offer into the funnel. So it's a constant tweaking process. I'm not saying that just because I get $10 out of it, you're going to be able to get $10 out of it. Like I said, there's so many different factors. But the biggest one is how well you maximize your sales funnel. The second thing would be what industry are you in? So those are the two factors. And Jonathan, Zach, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, it's about the same for me. Yeah, honestly, like I think John answered it perfectly in that there's no real way for you to know exactly how much it's going to be until you actually get in there. So yeah, it's there. You know how much I make and how much John make is going to be different than how much someone else makes. So.
Okay. Next question from Danny. Danny, you're there.
Hi, could you hear me?
Yes, I can, Danny.
I had a quick question. I'm starting out as a blogger, have a few websites that I'm trying to start up. I just wanted to know what the best hosting is for that.
Best hosting? Well,
yeah, the best hosting, and I noticed that when I first started in putting up some websites, at least I started with one, it was going good without any like delays in my website loading up. But as soon as I'm adding websites left and right, the websites load up very slow.
Okay. Okay, what's happening is, who's your current web host?
HostGator.
Okay. What's happening is you're using a share. HostGator has a you're on a share hosting account.
Mm-hmm.
And on a share hosting account, what basically means is you're sharing your website with a bunch of other websites. And
okay.
most web hosts, in order to make money, they have to put a lot of websites onto one single server.
Mm-hmm.
And what's probably happening is the server that you're on is probably has a lot of sites on there, or it could be a site that's on there is running a lot of traffic.
Okay.
Eventually, you will come to a point where you're going to have to go beyond your shared hosting account and get your own either a virtual private server or a dedicated server. And hopefully by the time you get to that point, your blog will make enough money that you can actually pay for that kind of stuff. Like my blog is hosted on on HostGator's dedicated server. It's a dual quad core Xeon server, and I'm the only site on there, so I'm able to handle a lot of traffic.
Okay.
It's a little more expensive. It's $375 a month.
I noticed that on HostGator offers a couple, like they offer the VPS hosting and then the dedicated server. They say that the VPS hosting is has dedicated functionality. Now, for a site that's, for me starting out without a budget, will it enhance the speed of my websites if I go with that VPS hosting versus a dedicated server?
The VPS will be faster than the share hosting because they keep less websites onto a VPS than they do on the share hosting. So because there are less customers on that server, there'll be less work for that server to do, so therefore you'll be faster. The dedicated server, because this will be the fastest option because it's all you. You have total control over it. But the VPS is set in a way that you also have total control as well. It's just that you're sharing it with a few other customers, not as many as a share host.
Right. Okay.
And the advantage of VPS is you can go up and down as you want. Like the HostGator has multiple VPS plans. You go to level 1 up to level 7. So if you find that it's too much, you can always back down. If you find you start needing some more, you can always go up. So you can go up and down with no problem at all. That's the other advantage.
Okay, that makes sense.
One other quick thing is that there are a couple tweaks that you can make to your blog to actually speed it up, and some of that is like you can get like the max CDN. I know John uses that, and I use that, and that's the content delivery network that that'll speed up the delivery of the images and stuff like that. And then there's caching. I think max CDN, when you install it, it also has caching that you can enable. And when you cache your blog posts, it'll definitely speed it up a lot because there's a lot less queries.
You should definitely be running W3 Total Cache, which is the caching software that I use. And it's a free plugin, totally free, W3 Total Cache. Just it's available at WordPress.org. Let me find it for you. W3, just do a Google search on W3 Total Cache. And yeah, here it is. So, free plugin. It works seamlessly with Max CDN. So, and it will cache your page. You definitely, and every blog should be running this. Like so there's a reason why I offer this as my part of my free WordPress installation. So yeah, definitely. Those two items alone will severely increase the performance of your blog. All right, so continuing, we have, sorry if we mispronounced your name, Mr. Aurora. Hello, James Smith. How's that? Aurora. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Hi, this is Honora. My website is Windows8update.com.
Number 8, spell it out, or just Windows?
No, Windows8update.com.
Update.
And my story is a little bit different. I'm actually a six-figure blogger. I've been very fortunate, so I'm not calling for advice about how to blog. I have a whole bunch of blogs. I was actually calling because it's a very funny story. I'm looking for advice from you guys about tech affiliate offers. I find that I haven't found a lot of tech affiliate offers that are anything more than just a registry, fixers or registry cleaners. So I'm trying to look for some new tech offers. Thanks.
I don't know if this is going to be exactly related, but one of the offers that I know converts really well for tech traffic is the penny auction sites. I don't know if you've looked into those much, but those are, like I see those all the time on TechCrunch and Mashable, and I think if you're looking for affiliate offers for this site, that might be one that you try.
Penny offers?
Yeah, like the penny auction websites, like Quebids.com, for example.
Okay.
A lot of the more popular affiliate networks are going to have them, and they can pay pretty well, especially if you can do volume, like your website seems to be able to. So.
Yeah, I have about 37,000 Aweber users. It's just that I've used ClickBank and Commission Junction and Linkshare and all the rest of them. It's just, it gets to a point where it's kind of repetitive. You have all the same type, you know, fix your registry, clean your registry, antivirus, anti-malware. Like, you can only do that but so many times.
Well, another thing you can do is you can add a hot deals page. When I was running on a tech sites, I always had a hot deals page. I guess an example we show you would be my friend over at .APEC, and basically it's kind of like it's a deals page, hot deals, get a deal. These are all updated every night at midnight with new expiring deals, get a deals, say $549, and they're from mostly link share and mostly commission junction. And he has a deal editor that every night updates this page every single night. Now, it is quite a bit of work, but if you don't want to do it, you can actually contact him. His name is Gabriel. I can send you his email address, but he makes this available as a feed for you to run this on your site. So, and here's an example of one of his affiliates here, Firing Squad, which is another very big site here. Squad.com. Right, so here's Firing Squad, and you notice Firing Squad has this deal section here. You click on it. Basically,
yeah, I see it.
Here's a deals page, and if you notice that basically the deals are the same deal. And what he does is he customizes the feed to fit Firing Squad. So he serves these deals to a bunch of other technology sites, and the revenue is just split 50-50 between you and him.
Yeah, that sounds great. I've had a lot of trouble finding. I thought when I got into this business, I'd be able to find a lot of, you know, higher end stuff like servers, affiliate offers on like large servers and hardware and stuff, which is like $5,000 for a server, 10,000, etc. It's just hard to find quality stuff, and Amazon pays crap, so it's hard.
Yeah, and really, I think you're also at a size now where you can probably sell your advertising by yourself.
I was afraid you'd say that. It's a lot of work. Okay.
Yeah, well, you should definitely integrate, or you can integrate some kind of, like I use OIO Publisher, which is a self-serve system, because I know that advertisers will visit your site as well as readers, and I'm looking at your site here. I don't see an advertise button, and I see the
so far I've just been focused on getting email addresses, and I'm almost at 40,000 now. So that's been my focus.
Yeah. So you can definitely offer a lot of self-serve advertising option, you know, to advertisers and stuff, and have a look at OIO Publisher, because the thing is, while you're waiting for an advertiser to come to you, OIO can serve your current ads by Google or whatever source you're getting it from until such time as you get a direct ad sale. So
that sounds great. I know OIO. Thank you.
All right. All right. I see a lot of repeat hands. I guess people didn't put down their hands or anything like that. So yeah, I'm looking at. Well, let's go back to some of these people. See, well, maybe they have another question. Stephanie. Hello. Oh, my mistake. It's Tukio, right? Stefan. Hello. Oh, he doesn't appear. He has walked away. Yeah, I think all these hands here are has previously been raised. Norman Ho. Norman. Hello. Hello.
Echo.
We can barely hear you. Getting some feedback too, so. Hello. All right, so all right. Why don't we go to some of the questions that's been typed in so far. We got like, oh my words, a lot of questions.
We should just start enabling random mics and listening to people.
Okay, all right, let's go. So let's go for some of these questions I can ask you guys here. Can I see the previous slide? No, that's okay. Cool. Any idea where your traffic needs to be or ranking needs to be before you start getting advertisers interested?
That's a good question.
Traffic needs to be. There's no hard or fast rule on when it needs to be. Like, you know, depending on the advertiser, like some advertisers, like the big brand one, like say Coca-Cola, you know, they're not going to look at you unless you got millions upon millions of impressions. But then there are some advertisers who are very, very niche that will look at you even if you only have several hundred readers per month. And so there's no hard or fast rule. What I do is when it comes time to put advertising on my blog, just put a default ad, either a house ad, a Google ad, or any kind of advertising, and then just have an advertise here button. Use OIO publishers to so that any advertiser comes to your blog, check out, see the advertise button, and show your prices right there, and they can order it from you. That's what I do. How can we get a copy of this presentation tonight? Jonathan, are you going to make your slides available?
Oh, sure. I can put it up on, I can send them to you and you can put them on your blog and I can do the same. I just threw it together as kind of a thing, so if you guys want them, I'm more than willing to give it.
And I said, I'm trying to record this thing, so I don't know. I mean, we're doing it live right now, so I don't know how the recording is going to come out until after this is over. So if it comes out, then I will make it available. And if it doesn't come out, I'll try to make whatever shows up available. Should ad rates be based on estimated visitors to the site? Can you give us any ballpark price figures for a new blog or established blog? What I do for setting ad rates is I use Google AdWords or Google AdSense as a benchmark, and I look at how much I'm making from Google. And if you look at your Google account, you'll see something called like effective cost per thousand, or ECPM, and Google will tell you in your stats how much are you making per 1,000 page views, and it'll be something like $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, whatever. My rule of thumb is to at least double that for direct ad rate. So if I were making, say, $2 effective CPM per thousand, or effective, if I'm making $2 per thousand page views, I would then try to charge at least $4 for direct advertising. And the reason for that is because, well, you know, Google's taking half the money from you anyway, so they're charging the advertiser $4. So you might as well, if they're buying direct from you, they're probably getting the same price. So what I would do is I would never go below half. I would never go below twice what I get from Google. And I would start off at, if I get $2, I would never go below 4. So I would quote 8. That's how I do it. I don't know if Zach or John, I don't know how you guys do it.
The way that I got, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, you got this one.
The way that I started out with my ad rates is I just basically looked at other blogs, and I noticed, for example, if a blog had double the amount of subscribers that I had, then I just half the price. And so I just made it really simple. And if I didn't get any advertisers then I would lower the price a bit. So really it was just demand and, yeah, for me, that's how I did it.
What software does Jonathan Bolt use to run advertising?
What's that?
What software does Jonathan Bolt use to run advertising?
I use OIO as well.
I use OIO. Zach, I think you're using the same thing?
Yeah, I don't have it set up yet. Right now, I just have an internal rotation within WordPress.
Yeah. So we pretty much OIO is what we go with. It's simple to use. It's only $27. I mean, it's pretty much an impulse purchase. It's cheap, and it works great. Like it allows customers to order advertising directly from your blog, and you can set up PayPal subscription. It takes them to PayPal to pay for it. Then it takes them to the upload area to upload the ad. Then you get an email that says you have a new advertiser. You approve it, disapprove it, and it's all set up. And yeah, it's $27. It's a great product.
Yeah.
Do you have any quick cash strategy? How do you make a quick cash? You know? For Jonathan, I know you just say, yeah, just spend $10,000 on this Facebook campaign and make 20.
Exactly.
That's your quick cash strategy.
Yeah. As far as quick cash, unfortunately, there's not too many things that I know of that you can do to make quick cash unless you have an email list, but that's a pretty easy quick cash. But other than that, you really got to work and build things up.
Yeah, you do. Honestly, you know, there are tons of get-rich quick schemes out there, but the truth of the matter is, you got to look at this as a business. Blogging, internet marketing, it is a business. It's not a game. Most people take it as a game because, you know, it sounds like, you know, spend this much money on Google ads and make this much money on affiliate sales. It sounds like a game, and it does, but seriously, it is a serious business. And I know, Jonathan, you know, you own a corporate business, you run it as a business, you got employees, you got expenses, and you got budgets and everything. So, and
exactly,
there's really those things like that's a quick cash or get rich quick stuff. This is built up over time. What you're trying to do is you're trying to build an asset. This is an asset that will continue to make you money for years and years to come. Like, I spent the last few years building up my email list, and
exactly,
that's basically my email list. That's my ATM. You know, if I say I want some money, I can go to my ATM and make a withdrawal. You know, because but it took years to build this thing up, and it took years to build the blog up.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take a while. Like, is it possible to go from 0 to hero in a month? Yes, it is. If you got money to invest, yeah. Right. If you got money, you can hire the talent. I suppose that's always possible. Right? But if you're starting from scratch, a very limited budget, you gotta look at this as a long-term business that's gonna continue to grow. That you can continue to nurture it, you can continue to grow it, and something that you can sell down the road for cash out, or something you can pass on.
Yep.
So really wish I have a better answer for you. Like, you know, truth of the matter is, I know Jonathan has a quick cash strategy. He's not going to tell you.
Those you got to pay for. No.
Okay. Jonathan, what metric do you suggest to include in the media kit?
What metrics? Basically the stuff that I include in my media kit. I include all my traffic stat. I basically just take a screenshot of my my Google my Google Analytics, and then I also include just Alexa. And I think people more often than not are not really interested in the metrics as they are like if they see a testimonial, oh, we got leads for half the price or whatever. I think that's actually more important and more effective. So, because honestly, a lot of times these blogs, when you get an advertiser, they're generally going to be paying more. I find, at least for direct advertising, than doing some kind of other stuff. So, yeah. I try not to include too many stats. I just include testimonials and screenshots of traffic.
Yeah, testimonial works really, really good. They probably will be any metrics you can show. All right, anyway, what is the first step to get traffic to your blog? Like, traffic tip. Let's talk about that for a bit. And Jonathan, I guess you like the guest posts.
Yeah, I like the guest posts, definitely. I think my first guest post that was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did a guest post about Google AdWords on Chow, and that was probably in 2007 or so, and that got me a ton of traffic, and that's what started like my guest post frenzy, I guess you could say. So.
And I will always
two other
say,
ideas that you could do is article marketing, which would also help with your search engine rankings. If you keep submitting a bunch of articles to Easing Articles or some of the other websites, that'll help you. But don't keep submitting the same stuff because it'll eventually link you, so it'll go real thin and it won't help you too much. But it'll give you a nice boost ranking. Don't expect too much traffic from it, but it'll help you with the search engines. And another idea is to get some social aspects for your blogs. Like if you're writing about, let's see, debt, you could write about how many celebrities are in debt. Just make it that something a lot of people would send around and possibly could do very well virally on Facebook.
my tip would be create a news list or news distribution list. Like when in my tech sites, we maintain a list of other technology sites that have a news section. Like there are, give you an example here. Let's say my friend Kyle over here at Hard OCP. He obviously he posts his news. News for this day. So, and if you look at his contact information here, you notice that he actually has news and PR. You got news? Please submit your news release to hardnews@hardocp.com. So there are tons of, well, in my niche, in tech niche, there are tons of technology sites that accept news. So when we post a new review or a new article, say we reviewed an iPhone or a new iPad or whatever, we would send out a news release to all these technology sites, and most of the time they will post it. And this is a great way for you to get traffic, get page rank, and that's how I built the tech zone. Basically, I sent news release. My news release list has 1,000 technology sites on it. So whenever we have a new article, a new review, we send it out, and we ask them, if you think your reader is interested in this product, a news post would be most welcome. If you have any news, feel free to send it to me, and we will post it in our news section. So that works out really, really well. So find blogs that are in your target market and send them a news release. If you wrote a really, really good article that you think that's newsworthy, send it to them and say that I wrote this article. If you think your readers like it, a mention would be great. And if in the future you read an article that you think is good too, feel free to send it to me, and I'll consider posting as well. So it's kind of like a you scratch your back, I scratch my back kind of thing. That's how I built the tech zone when I first started. And most new tech sites, they will do this too. Let's repeat questions here. Let's see. How do you determine what is premium content? How do you decide what goes in your blog and what should go in your newsletter? Anyone want to take that one?
It's a good question. Usually for me, premium content is something that's new and fresh and really hasn't been shared before on my blog. So that's, I guess that's really one of the main things that I look for.
Well, if I take it that the Blake here who asked this question, wants to divide up his content between free and premium. I don't really myself. I believe in just giving everything out there myself. So I really don't have like a premium content section. I suppose in the case this webinar is premium content, but if I were to do it, what I would do is like, say I read a big article, let's say 1,000 or 2,000 words, a big pillar article. What I would do is I would divide it into two parts. The first part would be the free part, and I would put that on there, and then the rest would, then part two would be in the newsletter. So then that's one way for you to get people to subscribe to your newsletter and go, to see part two, subscribe to my newsletter. And actually, I use this strategy for Easing article as well. See, one of the things about Easing article, most people use Easing articles for page rank or getting backlinks more than they do for getting traffic to the site, because the truth of the matter is very few people actually click on the e-zine article and to check out your blog. It's mostly just for the backlink. So what I recommend people do for e-zine article is they make a two-part article. The first part you put on the e-zine article itself, and then you link to part 2 that's on your blog. So that will send more people to your blog than just having a a resource box. What do you think of Tukio's strategy to get the A-list bloggers by putting those caricatures? I think that's a great idea.
Me too.
I think that's
I
a
love
great
that.
idea. I mean, he sent me a T-shirt. I did a video on it, and I did a .com video to feature his T-shirt, and those kind of stuff works. Yeah, that's a fantastic way to get yourself on the radar. I know he sent caricatures to Shoe Money. He did one Darren Rose, did one to Zach, did one for you guys, and I think it's a great idea. I mean, Dokio. I mean, if you look at his, and I already know it has an effect.
I think he told me he was going to be doing a follow-up post about it too, because I also wrote about it when I got it. So I think he's actually going to be listing some statistics, so that'll be really interesting to see how it actually worked for him.
Oh, I know. Well, actually, here's let me select this. Cool. I know that he's got. Yeah, they're fantastic. And so I guess this is kind of a measure of success. The day you get on Yukio.com, you made it. There you go, right here. Let me.
That's a great grass.
Can I bring this up? All right, we'll do it this way. Sure. This is the effect of making caricatures of a big blogger and sending them basically link bait. Like Shoe Money has blogged about him. I put him in my .com for a video. You blogged about him. So what is the effect of all this has been? Here is Tokyo's Alexa graph here. Come on. There you go. Okay, so I think that speaks for itself right there.
That definitely does.
Yeah, fantastic strategy, and my hat's off to him. He did a great job. Okay. Why aren't bloggers using text message marketing more? It's pretty new, but and I think the number one reason is probably because they don't know about it yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
It seems like it's fairly intrusive still to text message marketing messages. So I think it still hasn't. It's still kind of a ways out.
Is it possible to have that GoToWebinar link mentioned in the earlier post again? Yes. If you look at your GoToWebinar control panel and you look under the chat, I posted a link to that. You'll find it there. Can you guys list some of the sites that you're making money on?
JohnChow.com.
Question for Bo and Zach. Your blog are on affiliate marketing. What percentage of your income would you say comes from affiliate marketing versus what percentage comes from your blog?
For me, blogging was really just kind of a side thing. Last year, I made over 6 figures blogging, but that's really nothing in comparison to what I do with affiliate marketing. So with affiliate marketing, for example, I don't really specify how much I make anymore with that, but I can say it's over 5 million. So, and that's in the last couple of years. So it's definitely not like I make most of my money from blogging. It's just something I do for fun.
The blog is just gravy money, flash money.
Yeah.
You just use it to, spend it on your girlfriend or your wife.
Exactly.
Clothing allowance, right?
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I I started out the ZachJohnson.com, never really planning to make money off of it, but it just kind of turned into that. And I even did a 12-month case study on ZachJohnson.com, how it was making money each month and how you can make money with the blog. But I've always had my affiliate marketing business. I always have websites that I create and develop. So the whole business is really something else, and the blog has become a business of its own. So just like Volk and Chow, it's all fractional compared to what we have going on elsewhere.
Yeah, for me, like I said, I started my blog just for fun and because I make my money from other sites other than the blog, and you know, to this day, the blog is still like just the rest of you guys. The blog is not my biggest income source. I mean, but it turned into a nice business. And
definitely.
Yeah, definitely a business. So it's something to get into. And I guess one of the reasons we managed to achieve the success that we did with the blog was because when we first started, we just did it just for fun and go, hey, you know, because you know, we our business is something else.
Yeah.
Guys. And I guess that kind of attitude of saying, you know, this is what we like. We like to share this stuff. We like to share our knowledge, and we enjoy doing this stuff. If it makes money, great. If it doesn't make money, at least we're still having fun. And I think that kind of attitude that got people interested and got people reading about us. And from that, we're able to distinguish ourselves on all those bloggers who are just blogging to make money because they want to make money.
Exactly. Yep.
So, and I think looking at time here, I think we're actually out of time. And like I said, this would normally be the time that we would try to sell you something, but like I said, this is a pitch-free webinar, and we have absolutely nothing to sell you guys. So, yeah, I wish we do have something to sell, but we don't have anything to sell you guys.
Go to all of our blogs. There you go.
Except that, well, we will say that, you know, if you enjoy this, and please let us know in our comment. Please do visit our blog. Let us know that you enjoy this and that you like to see this do it again, because, you know, if you guys like this, we like to do some more of this kind of stuff in the future. And like I said, I think the idea of a pitch-free webinar is a novel idea. No one does it except for us, as far as I know. And I said one of the reasons we did this was just simply because we just wanted to rub it in the faces of all those webinar gurus. So yeah, I had a good time. Any few parting comments from you guys before we sign off?
Nope. Thanks for inviting us to do this. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for coming. And we make our blogs to hear from people like you who come and visit every day. So without you guys, our blogs are nothing.
All right. And with that, we want to say thank you very much for coming. Good night to you guys. We hope you enjoy this session. And like I said, please do visit ZachJohnson.com, JonathanBolt.com, and JohnChow.com. Let us know what you think of the webinar, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. So it's 6 p.m. here in the Pacific, and I know, Zach, you're probably going to go to sleep, but my dinner is ready, so
me too.
So, all right. So thank you very much again, and we will see you guys on the next one. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.